How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Thank you all for 10,000 freaking subscribers. I've been on this YouTube journey for a long time, and honestly, I was kind of giving up hope that I would ever hit 10,000 subscribers on this channel. I've been doing this for almost half a decade, which is kind of insane to think about, and now the fact that, once again, somehow it happens every summer, but once again, I have blown up, and now that's just pushed me past the 10,000 mark. In fact, I think I'm a bit late to this. We're at 10,200 already. Holy crap! But yeah, a while back, I promised that I would do a 10K subscriber Q&A in one of my videos, and now that we have hit it, it's time to do said Q&A. So I put out a community post a little while later, and I accumulated a bunch of questions for all of me to answer to you. So yeah, I think with that said, let's just rapid fire this, let's just get into it. And yeah, I apologize for the poor lighting and the haircut. I really do. Just let it grow out. Please trust me. What's your favorite aquatic animal? Otters. Have you ever seen an otter? Have you ever looked at a baby otter in the eyes? If you haven't stared into the eyes of a baby otter, you haven't lived yet, because those things are freaking adorable, man. 2 questions. What would be the funnest game you've ever played by far on VR? First, I would probably just say a lot of them are kind of getting boring right now if you're talking about like recency, but I fairly enjoyed Assassin's Creed VR when it came out, which I know it's kind of a hot take. Don't burn me in the stake. I don't care though, because it is just my opinion. Second, what is the quote of the day? Do not pray for easier lives, my friends. Pray to be stronger men. What would be your favorite video that you've posted? Shoot, man. I think I've posted like almost 500 videos on this channel, so that is gonna be a tough one. I think probably the one that I'm most like proud of would probably have to be the best VR game that you've never played. It's basically a documentary that documents the whole story of how Echo VR shut down, and how like literally from the start to the shutdown in like a full feature-length documentary. I don't know why my camera just went out of focus for that. Do you think Orion Drift is going to attract the Gorilla Tag audience, making it full of kids? So this one is a bit of a loaded question, because really no one can ever truly predict it. I personally think that, yeah, it's going to be the case, and there's going to definitely be a lot of conflict within that community over if they should stay with Orion Drift or if they should stick with Gorilla Tag. As someone who's in the early access, though, I'm just going to tell you now, once you guys actually get like a feel for what Orion Drift is, then you are going to never go back to Gorilla Tag. As for the part where it's like full of kids, I mean, yeah, but it's a 200 player lobby, so there is very much a massive chance that you will be able to basically find your own group within the orbital station. But yeah, that's my thoughts on everything. What OS do you use? Mac, Windows, Linux, or Chrome OS? Also, what's your favorite color? One more. How much money do you make off average per video you post? Okay, so first for the OS I use. When I started out, I actually used Macs because I couldn't afford a PC, but now I am just purely a Windows user. I have a gaming laptop that I am recording this on right now, and then at my mom's house, I have a PC. As for my favorite color, I like purple. It's nice. I know you might think it's green, but the reason why I originally chose green was just because I searched up cool gaming background on on Google Images, and that's how I found that background, and then I just used it as my YouTube channel. One more. How much money do you make on average per video per post? So this one is actually insane, and this will kind of give you guys a bit of an idea as to how like much a lot of your favorite Gorilla Tag YouTubers are actually making, because what I strategically did is I made my Orion Drift videos kind of appeal towards the Gorilla Tag niche, because that thing is lucrative as heck. And just to give you an idea, I made about $100 when a Gorilla Tag, this is not Gorilla Tag 2, first posted, and it had around 20,000 views. So 20,000 views gave me $100. You can just do the math on the rest of the videos on that. What's your favorite headset and VR game? I honestly was a very big fan of the Quest 1. For one thing, it probably had the best starting head strap that you could ever have on a VR headset before Meta eventually figured out that if they make a trash head strap, then you have to buy an accessory if you actually want to, like, you know, have a normal experience in VR. In VR game, once again, Orion Drift, gonna say it. When will Orion Drift be public? Well, what's your favorite holiday? Christmas. It's freaking awesome. I love getting gifts, and I love giving gifts. It's very nice. What are your plans for the future of this channel? Send this thing into the freaking stratosphere. I really just been waiting at the pace of when another Axiom had been developing Orion Drift. We kind of just been in this limbo state with this channel, because I knew that this was going to be eventually like an Orion Drift channel. Like, it just seemed like the natural progression, because with all due respect, I'm not going to Gorilla Tag. I choose happiness in life, and I can't really stay with Echo VR because, you know, it's dead. So considering the amount of interest from the Echo community in Orion Drift, plus the mix of Gorilla Tag people who are coming over to Orion Drift, it just seemed like the next corresponding step. And I mean, now that, you know, it's more public, I can actually make content on it. Do you think VR is going to become more mainstream in the future? If so, which company do you see being the one to do it? Okay, so Valve. I know. It's kind of a common sense when you think about it, but like Steam is already the biggest catalog for virtual reality games out there. Every single VR game that ever gets posted always goes on Steam. Very few will not be on that platform, and most of those are just meta exclusives. So because of that, it's kind of like as soon as Steam, or I guess Valve in this case, releases a standalone headset that has enough processing power to access standalone VR in Steam VR, it's basically over for meta. Do you think VR esports become something as big as other esports? I definitely honestly think it will, and I think Orion Drift kind of has the potential to do that with the way that the game is structured and set up. I can't speak about it too much. If you want, though, go watch my competitive vision for Orion Drift video. It was the most previous one. That will definitely give you some more insight into what I think about this question. When are you rolling out the Trentic marketable plushies? Never. Go to Ensadon. Link is in the description. Embrace the horizon. Will you do a live stream soon? My live streams are pretty sporadic, but, you know, join my Discord server if you want to catch those, because I will always ping them first whenever I go and start up a live stream. When are we going to have our official collab? Well, Carter, I think it'll probably happen when Orion Drift releases. Other than that, though, hopefully if we ever get the chance to make public content on Orion Drift, like in the early access builds, which, let me tell you, would be freaking awesome, because I'd basically just have a content monopoly. That would definitely be very awesome. Do you think your efforts will stop people from believing the lies of Orion Drift being Gorilla Tag 2? I mean, basically I'm battling the whole Gorilla Tag niche here. Every single Gorilla Tag, not every, but almost every single Gorilla Tag creator is calling this thing Gorilla Tag 2. I definitely set that, like, this is not Gorilla Tag video up as a failsafe. So the intended strategy with that video was that I was trying to get it to appear like on the up next of every single like Orion Drift this is Gorilla Tag 2 video. So then when people watch those videos, even if my video just is like the one that's recommended, it immediately dispels that previous, like, you know, sentiment. Do you have any tips on becoming a successful YouTuber? I actually have a full-on blueprint on how to become a successful YouTuber. Been doing this for 5 years, 5 years of trial and error, and I wanted to write down a lot of my knowledge so then I could, you know, use it, like in this case, when now me and a lot of my friends have the opportunity to make livings off of YouTube through Orion Drift. It's like, okay, yeah, time to take all my friends, all your favorite Echo YouTubers, and let's blow all of us up into the stratosphere. I basically want to be like the tide. If you've ever heard of like the saying, a rising tide raises all ships, I want to be the tide in this case. I want to be the biggest, but that's more just, you know, because I'm pretty competitive when it comes to this type of stuff, and I want to, you know, I basically want to become J-Man Trentic. That's really it. But yeah, the knowledge that I will leave with all of you is that there actually recently was an algorithm shift courtesy of a source from a YouTube insider. You can even go check vidIQ's channel because it was so public that even they made a video on it. YouTube is more going towards viewer satisfaction instead of watch time. So what you should really be prioritizing is 1, titles and thumbnails, because it doesn't matter how good your video is. If you can't make a good title and a good thumbnail, then it doesn't really matter that much. And then 2, you want to focus on getting viewers to come back to your channel for a second upload. That's what the algorithm really wants in 2024. Are you in the early access for Orion Drift? Yes. Has this recent spike of subs and views changed your perspective / goals of your channel? And if so, how? Definitely yes, because originally I thought that another channel of mine, Tritus, was going to be the channel that took me to the stratosphere. For those of you who don't know, Tritus is a channel that was basically like a VR Let's Play channel that centered more around just me chilling in VR games and having fun. But eventually, the decisions that I made with that channel led to it kind of dying, which was pretty unfortunate, but hey, what can you do? It's the shorts algorithm. And the goal, I think really the goals for this channel now is probably going to be 100,000 subscribers by the summer of 2025. And then hopefully I want to just be making enough money now to where I can kind of just pay rent, save up, invest, and do all that jazz. So then I can basically just set myself up for the rest of my life to make YouTube videos for all of you. What happened to Tritus? Already explained this. Will you make a lot of Orion Drift videos? 100% yes. What is your opinion on bananas? I mean, yeah, they're pretty alright. What do you think is the best VR game you've ever played except Orion Drift? Assassin's Creed Nexus. Really liked it. If Orion Drift attracts the kids of Gorilla Tag, do you think it'll carry over the toxicity? So this one is very interesting, and definitely this is kind of, I want this to kind of be like this specifically. I want this to be spread over like everywhere in the Orion Drift community, everywhere for this. So really, when it comes to the toxicity of Gorilla Tag, and toxicity of a lot of stuff in general, you'll actually find that a lot of communities very much differ in their behaviors of like how toxicity operates and festers, even though some of them, like, you know, share overlapping players. Like a player might play, you know, like Minecraft, and they might just be chilling out with their friends, and then move over to Call of Duty and start screaming racial slurs like no tomorrow. Really, what we as a community need to do is kind of just set the atmosphere of like, hey, we're a chill community. We're just, you know, we're here to have fun, you know, lead by example. I know a lot of us are going to be older, or some of us, you know, those toxic kids are our peers. If you really just, you know, really just put yourself out there as someone who is like, you know, just a normal freaking person, then eventually most people in a pursuit to fit in will eventually adjust their behavior, which in turn will kill the toxicity. You see, all of these are really good questions, eh? Nah. I'm gonna ask a real deep, dark question. One that you will never answer. Are you ready? I don't know. What are you asking me? What's your favorite color? Purple. Opinions on the Lone Echo franchise? It was good. Never really played it, but it's alright. What do you think will win VR Game of the Year? Nothing. I don't think any VR games deserve it. And the reason why, because I know that's definitely going to be a controversial statement, is that there's nothing that has really stood out to the point that it kind of becomes like, you know, a headset seller. When you think of games like Gorilla Tag that have millions of players concurrently, and at their height, we're literally drawing in new users to VR, I feel like the award of VR Game of the Year should be given to the games that are not the most recent, but the ones that do the best job of actually putting VR out in the mainstream. And really, with a lot of these recent releases, I haven't really been seeing that being the case. What's your goal for this year? 50,000 subs by the end of the month? I don't know, whatever, sure. I'm just trying to grow as much as possible. That's really it. Do you think the players that are the best at Gorilla Tag will migrate over to Orion Drift? Example, the Tree Trotters? Well, I have no idea what any Gorilla Tag lingo is, but when it comes to the people who are best at Gorilla Tag, I think they will find a very wonderful home in either the parkour section or tackle ball. What are you going to do with the second channel Tritus? Already answered this. Give me the exact date of Tabor. May 16. Did you ever really like Tabor? I mean, it was fine. Only problem is that I grinded the game for like 6 months straight, so when you kind of do the same thing with little to no updates or new content, yeah, you're kind of going to go a bit insane. I kind of burnt myself out with it. When will you play Grab? No. When is your voice reveal? 100,000 subs. That's right. You heard it here, folks. Next freaking goal. Voice reveal at 100,000 subs. Let's get it, boys. We got this. Will you play fan-made content? I feel like this question's a bit too broad for what I know. If it's like, you know, content that's made by my fans and they want like to share it with me, maybe definitely later on down the road, but I feel like I want to get to a point where I'm comfortable building up a core audience with Orion Drift to where, you know, let's say I want to make something else that isn't Orion Drift related, I can still pull like, you know, 100,000 views or something like that. If you're talking about Gorilla Tag fan games, no. How are you? Doing good. Bit tired, but chilling. Would you rather be 8'12" or have 8 foots and be 12? What? Are you Sigma? I am the basest of the Sigmas. Perhaps maybe even an alpha. Favorite color? If it's not purple, I'm unsubscribing. Well, and then I guess I'm keeping your subscription. Yeah, everyone, with that said, that's all the questions we had. So thank you all for watching. I really do appreciate it. Once again, thank you all for 10,000 subs. We'll do another Q&A at like 15,000, maybe even 20,000. We'll probably do it at like 15,000. So make sure to get me there very soon, although really it's more just on me and actually how much I post. Anyway, though, thank you all for watching. Salutations, bro fist, goodbye, whatever the frick, yeah.